We're getting right into our big story tonight, as Portland City Council is heading into the final days of budget deliberations with potential cuts to public safety, parks, and other city services still on the table. The debate over this year's budget has exposed deep divisions as councilors have clashed over spending priorities and how to close a major budget gap. Ahead of next week's crucial vote to finalize the budget, I sat down with Councilor Steve Novick for an inside look. He served as a city commissioner from 2013 to 2017 as part of Portland's old form of government. And this time around, he's often found himself as the swing vote between council's more progressive half and the more moderate members. Here's part of our conversation. Do you think there's a disconnect between what's happening inside City Hall and what Portlanders are experiencing in their daily lives?
Well, I think that it depends on how you look at it. I think that what's happening inside City Hall, you pretty much see when you watch the council. It's not like there's different kind of conversations going on in back rooms. It's pretty much all out in the open. But I think that there's definitely a factor of folks in City Hall are tangled up in minutia and ideological divides.
So some critics say council is out of touch with Portlanders. How would you respond to that?
There's a group of councilors who basically think you should never remove a homeless camp and the city shouldn't be involved in helping small businesses deal with graffiti and vandalism. And then there's another group that I'm part of that think we don't want indiscriminate homeless sweeps, but we think that there's some homeless camps that pose a real danger to health and safety, and those should be removed.
You know, this is a new form of government. This is the first time there are 12 city councilors. Were you expecting a divide like this?
I wasn't sure. I didn't really expect it, though. It's much deeper and more wide-ranging than I expected. And one thing that I really didn't expect is that there's this division between, there's a group of us that think that the mayor and his team of subject matter experts usually pretty much know what they're doing. Whereas there's another group which seems to think that the mayor and his subject matter experts have no idea what they're doing.
What group do you fall in? Do you believe the mayor knows what he's doing?
I think that the mayor, I tend to believe that the mayor and his team generally know what they're doing. Sometimes we have disagreements.
So it's an election year for half of the council, including for you. How much does politics and the pressure of a re-election influence what happens on the dais?
You don't really know because you can't get into people's heads, but certainly in terms of the budget, I think people might think there's an incentive for them to say, I'm not going to make any difficult decisions now. I'm going to not make any cuts. I'm going to just push that off until next year after I get reelected.
Have you let the fact that it's an election year influence any of your own decisions and behavior during this budget process?
I think that I'm pretty much doing what I would do whether it was up for reelection or not.
And one of the biggest flashpoints in this budget was proposed cuts to the Portland Police Bureau, and you've pushed to restore some public safety funding. Where do those efforts stand now?
Now, a group of councilors has come forward with a proposal to restore everything by digging deep into reserves, spending money that we should be relying on for next year, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a fiscally irresponsible proposal that I cannot support.
What public safety services are you most concerned about losing if these type of...
Well, I'll tell you, my very highest priority is to restore the medical rescue van that's at 72nd and Burnside that's in my district. So I propose that the council should cut our own council office budgets in order to restore that particular rescue. One thing that I've been really disappointed in with this council is a majority voted to give us these huge budgets for our personal offices, $1,450,000 apiece, which is twice what city councilors in Denver have. It's 3 times what city councilors in Minneapolis have. It's hundreds of thousands more than city councilors in Seattle have.
What are people spending that money on? I mean, that's a lot of money for a council office.
They spend it mostly on staff, I think. Some of them spend it on office space.
We've been talking a lot about this ideological divide on council, and throughout this budget season, we've repeatedly seen 6-6 votes on major issues. So is this divide making it harder for the city to move forward and make decisions?
It definitely is. Having the mayor not being able to cast a deciding vote is problematic.
Okay, let's get sort of a reality check here. What is one thing that Portland City Council is doing right and one thing that it's doing wrong?
I think that one thing that the City Council has been sensitive to is the importance of maintaining our physical assets. I think that there's a greater sense of collective responsibility for everything the city does now that we're all councilors together. We don't run bureaus.
And what is something that they're not getting right?
I think that they're not getting right. I mean, I think right now fiscal responsibility is a problem. Regardless of what the city council is doing or not doing, I think that Portland is on the rebound.
Okay, well, council is set to vote on the final budget next week, Wednesday, June 17th. But now we want to hear from you. What grade would you give Portland City Councilors? And did anything that you hear tonight stand out to you? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090.